Welcome to another edition of Len's Burning Bush. I am Len Harvey. Before I bring on my guest for the week, I want to talk about what's really burning my bush. So for the love of God, will it please stop raining? Milli Vanilli famously lip-synced to the song, Blame It on the Rain. And of course, that's now going to be an earworm for you, and I'm sorry. But I am ready to start blaming. All summer, it continues to rain. I know there are many areas in the western part of the United States that are listening that really could use the rain, and I am so sorry. I feel like I would love to donate some of this rain. The summer has been a total washout. Now, I remember summers where we, always had thunderstorms in the afternoon or that chance of some rumblings possibly with the humidity rising. And of course, that would end in a couple of minutes, maybe 5-10 minutes. We'd get a sun shower, but never this continuous rain, heavy, continuous rain. I did some traveling over the last couple of weeks, and like every 30 miles, it would start raining again. And it's just, sometimes you get that rain where you can't even see in front of you, get the whiteout kind of experience on the road during the afternoon if you've ever had that. And if you haven't noticed, it has rained most weekends as well. A lot of Friday nights have been washed out. So if you go to bike nights or you go to whatever on a Friday night, you have seen plenty of rain and plenty of cancellations. Did we move to Seattle when I wasn't looking? And no offense to Seattle, but I just prefer not to live where it rains all the time. In Cincinnati, since June the 1st, we've had almost 13 inches of rain that has fallen alone, with several inches in some weekends. Normally, we get about 6 inches of rain in that period of time, and it's just been double that. So we have had a few good days, but come on, we only get a certain amount of pool days for each of the summers so that we can lay out, sit by the pool, have a couple of drinks. You know how that works. Even those movie nights, it's hard to do those because they keep getting canceled. And now we're coming to the late part of July with only August as our only hope. Come on. As my friend Mara had said, August is the Sunday of summer. And then the kids go back to school early. Enough of the rain already. Let's start to sing. Let the sun shine in. Face it with a grin. Or let the Brady Bunch sing Sunshine Day. With that being said, it's time to bring on my guest for the week. She is part of the morning show with Big Dave called The Big Dave Show on B105 in Cincinnati. She's making her second appearance on Len's Burning Bush. She's a glutton for punishment. Please welcome the lovely and talented Chelsie to Len's Burning Bush. Chelsie, how are you? It's been a long time since we've spoken, since maybe the last time we did the show. But how are you doing?
I'm doing good, really good. But I'm with you on the rain.
I am tired of it. I saw Cherie was on the show a couple of weeks ago or months ago. I don't even know dates anymore. It just kind of runs into each other every week. But she even posted, I saw a Twitter post where she was driving into work with the rain just coming down and she could barely see, which I don't know how she gets photos of that. But anyway, she made a comment on social media that's like, do you remember that we've had this kind of rain over and over? Because again, I'm used to thunderstorms. A couple of minutes, done, right?
Yeah.
It is awful. I just, again, I know this is first world problems, right? You can't get in your pool in the summer, but, we only get, if you count, like really Memorial Day weekend to Labor Day is really your pool season, right?
Yeah.
So if we don't get that, what are we supposed to do? It's like you just kind of, I usually have a backyard, like movie night. I'll set up by the pool, dive-in movie night. And I haven't even been able to do that. Like, we've had several weeks that have just been washed away. It wasn't even where you could go in. Like, we've had probably 1 or 2 good weekends that we were able to get in, and we got in a lot. But then it'll be a week straight of rain after that.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Maybe we should just wear our galoshes and shut up. But I don't understand how come we have so much rain. And everybody talks about, well, the climate's changing. And I understand that. I'm not going to get into a debate. We know that weather patterns are cyclical and they do change. And I'm sure 100 years ago they had the same weather. But that's right. It's just kind of awful. So speaking of pool parties and stuff, I wanted to kind of segue into this. This is I don't know if you drink this, but I've started to, and I've kind of welcomed it. The seltzer lifestyle. Have you gone to the seltzer lifestyle with the White Claws?
I'm not a seltzer fan.
Well,
I'm not a White Claw girl.
Well, that's good because I'd still like beer, but I will tell you this. As someone who likes beer, when you're at the pool and you drink the seltzer, it's a little lighter, you know?
Yeah.
And as you know, the corporation has expanded very nicely in my weight category. So I kind of want to watch that a little bit. But, you know, again, I really don't care, obviously, you're looking at me. But I think that the White Claw is not a bad option. But I will say this. They have these variety packs. And this kind of angers me. So this is another part of Len's Burning Bush, right? Variety packs of White Claw. So that these people, the people that make White Claw should listen to this. Because it's kind of like, do you remember as a kid, you get the cereal variety pack? And there would always, yeah. And there would always be 3 or 4 cereals in that you would never touch. Right? Okay.
Yep.
Ruby Red Grapefruit. I'm not interested. And there's like 3 of them in the variety pack of 12. 3. That is ridiculous. And then I was talking to Susan about this, my wife, you know Susan. I was talking to her, and she says mango is another one for her that she doesn't like. She calls mango she said, we talked about it, she says mango is the pumpkin of summer, which is kind of brilliant, actually. Because everybody likes mango in the summer, but then all year round they don't drink it. Just like we like pumpkin, which is coming up, by the way. I can't stand August is going to be right around the corner. There'll be the damn pumpkin stuff coming out pretty soon. But you know what I'm saying here? We got a variety pack where the black cherry, the raspberry, all brilliant, all wonderful. But as we get in, we got mango, we got this ruby red grapefruit. Who thought that ruby red grapefruit? What am I, 70 drinking grapefruit juice? I just don't understand it. So to White Claw, and again, they're not a sponsor, so I can go off on this. I'd like them to be a sponsor, but I think I drink a lot of White Claws, and I would prefer that these variety packs get rid of some of the nonsense, like the cereal, right?
Yeah.
You know, you're not buying a variety pack so you could have cornflakes in there. No one wants that. If you want cornflakes, you just buy cornflakes. You want the Fruit Loops, the Lucky Charms, all of that stuff. And speaking of which, I have tried. I mean, I'm trying. I love the sugary cereals. Are you a sugary cereal kind of girl, or do you not like cereal at all?
Not anymore. My kids are.
Yeah, of course. Because they don't want to, I mean, you don't want to eat cardboard. I mean, cornflakes is okay, but you got to put sugar on it, right? Well, there's a company called Magic Spoon that's out there. Another one that's not sponsoring me, by the way. But Magic Spoon, I saw a video of somebody promoting it. Doesn't have any sugar in it. It's kind of I guess a sweetener, but it has protein though, like 13 or 14 grams of protein. So Fruit Loops of the Magic Spoon variety actually could be somewhat healthy. But I got to be honest with you, I had a few bowls of the Fruit Loops and now the peanut butter, and I'm a big peanut butter kind of guy. So there's a peanut butter Captain Crunch that I like, and you taste the peanut butter in that. But whatever they did in the Magic Spoon, it really didn't taste like, I'm not going to say it tasted like sawdust, but it was not peanut butter like I know it. So I'm trying, Chelsie, I really am, to try to be healthy, but it just doesn't work out. It's just, you know, I don't know. I don't know what your thoughts on the health category, but to try to be healthy, I mean, I'll eat a little asparagus. I like, you know, vegetables and stuff.
Yeah.
But the cereal, I still like the sugary cereals. Give me my Fruit Loops, my Lucky Charms, my Sugar Frosted Flakes, Apple Jacks. I like that better. What are your thoughts?
Do you eat all of the Lucky Charms, or are you like my son 5 years ago that only ate the marshmallows?
No, when I was a kid, I grabbed the marshmallows. Now I actually eat the rest of the cereal. It is pretty good. I will tell you this. Once the marshmallows are gone, the cereal sucks.
Yeah.
So you have to mix it up. You have to mix it up. It's kind of like Raisin Bran, where if it's not for like you might as well just have a bowl of raisins with milk. Yeah. Because the rest of the cereal, it just gets all soggy. It's not designed for milk, right? Raisin Bran. And then you're eating all the raisins, and once you're done with the raisins, you're like, I'm kind of done with this. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Again, these are the things that bother me, right? Rain, White Claw, healthy snacks. I just never been a healthy snack. If I'm going to go for a snack, and somebody's been trying, they've been helping me. They've been, you know, like the skinny popcorn actually tastes pretty good. I don't know.
Good.
Yeah. So the skinny popcorn I like, but really, that's about it. I'm not really fans of a lot of the other healthy snacks. Maybe the I don't know if you've been to Costco lately, but they've got those bags of the vegetable kind of chip crisps or something, and you can. Those aren't too bad because they've got a lot of flavor in it, so you can do away. You can try it, but the healthy snacks is rough because if I want a snack, I'm just going to go for a cookie or a cake, or I'm a sweet tooth kind of guy. Do you like sweets?
Oh yeah, too much. But sometimes, like some of the healthy snacks that you look at them and you think, oh, they're supposed to be healthy, and then you look at the back and they're no better than anything else.
Exactly. It's all a scam, Chelsie. They throw the stuff. It's like the no sugar. Like, here's the thing. Even in that Magic Spoon cereal, it doesn't have sugar, but it's got this other chemical which you have no idea what that's going to do to your body, right?
Exactly.
But it's got 14 grams of protein. So all these people that are worried about protein on a regular basis, right? Just eat an egg, okay? Just eat an egg and you're okay, right? The protein can come with it. So as a kid, I mean, I'm a little bit older than you, Chelsie. So I remember the movie Grease, and I'm sure you've seen it 100 times. I would hope that you've seen the movie
Probably
Grease.
100,000 times, yeah.
Yeah, that movie came out in 1978. I don't know if you were barely around back then, but 1978, John Travolta, Olivia Newton-John, obviously a very famous movie. You know, a lot of good songs. You're the One That I Want, and all the good songs. And John Travolta's famous, you know, his brilliance in that movie, right? But now, I didn't know if you've seen this, but according to Paramount Network, they're going to be doing a prequel to Grease called The Rise of the Pink Ladies. It is going to be a 10-episode show. It is the first series order under the new Paramount person, Nicole Clemens. She also runs Paramount TV Studios, which is producing the prequel, Rise of the Pink Ladies. It takes place 4 years before the original Grease. Per the show's logline, before rock and roll ruled, before the T-Birds were the coolest in the school, 4 fed-up outcast girls dare to have fun on their own terms, sparking a moral panic that will change Rydell High forever. Now, Stockard Channing, Dee Dee Conn, Diana Manoff, Jamie Donnelly played the Pink Ladies in the feature film in 1978. So it is, I guess, would you look forward to that? Kind of seeing what's up with that?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I'm a big fan of Grease, but sometimes when they do things like that, the classic movies, it is never as good as you want it to be.
No, I agree with you. And I think a lot of times they reach for things and they try to reboot things that don't need to be rebooted. I've said 100 times, I do not want to see a Back to the Future movie that doesn't include Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd, right? I won't see it. I don't care. Because I have standards. Right? Once you've seen the best, do you want to? I mean, why mess with that, right? That's the kind of thing. But this looks like it'll be fun. I guess the Rise of the Pink Ladies. It probably is for younger people to watch because we watched all that show, when we were younger as well. So I think that's going to be the positive thing. So we'll see the Rise of the Pink Ladies, and hopefully that'll be pretty good. And there's also going to be, I believe, they're behind a feature film, Grease, titled Summer Lovin' with Brett Haley directing. That can't be good. I'm not interested.
If you ever saw that with Michelle Pfeiffer.
There are parts of Grease too that I love, like he's a cool rider, a cool rider. No ordinary boy, right? Is that there we go?
It's sad you know that.
I do know that, and that is pretty sad. There's also what's the other one? We're gonna bowl tonight. We're gonna rock. We're gonna roll tonight, or something. We're gonna rock and roll. We're gonna score tonight, something like that. And reproduction. Yeah, see, look at that, and it's all coming back to you now. That's another song, but it's all coming back to you now. Well, speaking of coming back, Sex and the City. What's that?
My dogs are barking. I'm sorry.
Oh no, that's okay. You cut out a little bit, but your dogs are barking. That's okay. We don't care. This is the fun time, Chelsie. You don't have to worry. This isn't B105. We can mess up and be fine. It'd be no. Okay. No one cares. But people care about Sex and the City, and that is coming back also. So did you watch Sex and the City?
You know what? I watched bits and pieces. I was not one that sat down and watched it every single week. So
I got to admit, just like the White Claws, I guess I watched the Sex and the City too. So I'm a Sex and the City White Claw kind of guy.
Are you sure you're not like a 23-year-old college girl?
I think 20. I will take the 23-year-old. I'll tell you that right now. That would be excellent. No, I don't know. I must have that. I have that sensitive side, Chelsie. That's what it is. It's the sensitive side that I like it. I like the Sex and the City. They're apparently expanding the cast to include a couple of people I've never heard of. Sarita Chowdhury, Nicole Ari Parker, and Karen Pittman are going to be in the original. They're going to join Sarah Jessica Parker, Cynthia Nixon, and Kristen Davis in that movie. Now, Chowdhury plays in Little Fires Everywhere. Homeland she's in. So I've never seen Homeland, but I guess that's a pretty good show. Seema Patel, a self-made powerhouse Manhattan real estate broker. So there's a lot of people that are in it. One person that is not in it, though, is Kim Cattrall, and I think that really hurts it. And she was the one that played Samantha in the show, if you've ever seen it, and she's not going to be in it. So that kind of disappoints me.
I think a lot of people are disappointed with that too. I've seen a lot of things online of like, why isn't she coming back? I mean, she was one of the main people you watched when you watched the show.
Yeah. No, I agree, and I think that that's going to. But again, this is all with the reboots, right? Everything is a reboot. Have you found a reboot that you really liked of any of the ones that have come out?
Gosh, not really. I mean, I was a fan of the kind of the Harry Potter spinoff.
Yeah.
Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. I was a fan of that, but that wasn't really a reboot. It was a totally different story. But not really. I like the originals for certain things, and I don't like to see things redone. I will say I'm excited because they are redoing Christine, the movie Christine, and with the special effects we have now, I think it could be really cool.
Yeah, I think it's good. But the original one was the guy that played in Back to School. I can't think of his name. The actor that was in Back to School with Rodney Dangerfield, the son, was in the original Christine, and that was kind of creepy. That was a very good movie. But yeah, that would be interesting. I like some of the nostalgia of reboots. Like I watched the Friends interview.
The reunion.
The reunion. Yeah.
I did like that. Yes.
I did like that. I did. But Jerry Seinfeld has come out and said that he's been offered boatloads of money to do Seinfeld reboot. He won't. He said never. He said you can't mess with great. Like it's just it can only be worse. Like there's nothing good that comes from it. It's kind of like I always say, nothing good happens after midnight. That's kind of the same thing where you have something that's that great and you try to milk it. I mean, they tried a little bit. They did a little bit of a mini reunion when Curb Your Enthusiasm. I don't know if you watched that, but they did a little bit of that in the last season where Jerry was on and they had Elaine and they had a couple of things as their own characters, as their real life characters. It was kind of nice to see them again. But I think you're gonna, if you try to do something like that with Seinfeld, you can't do it. I know they're thinking of doing a King of Queens one, and they're thinking of doing. There's a lot of them that are trying to do it. I actually did like, and again, this is going back to the White Claw and Sex and the City of me. I liked Full House. I liked Fuller House. I watched that.
You did?
Yeah.
I didn't watch Fuller House. My daughter did, and she liked it.
See, your daughter did, so I relate better to your daughter. See,
She's 17.
Yeah, I know. I'm 53. Yeah. But I enjoyed the Fuller House thing, and I think maybe because I watched it as I was more than a teenager. I guess I was in my 20s. Well, when Full House was on, but I was close to the teens. But I enjoyed Full House, and I enjoyed the reboot of that. I think they did Punky Brewster came out. I didn't watch that one. There's a bunch of them that they've tried to do. I know they tried Murphy Brown. They also did Paul Reiser and Helen Hunt with Mad About You. And I tried to watch a few episodes, and I got to say it was pretty painful.
The one that I think that we don't have, I've got every streaming network known to man except for the one this is on, is iCarly. Because actually, my daughter loved iCarly, and it was a fun show to watch as an adult, too. And they're bringing it back as they are adults. And I have not subscribed to that network just yet. I'm sure I will, just to watch that. Yeah, no,
iCarly I liked it. Actually, it's funny that you mention iCarly because my daughter watched it, and she likes it. Do you know what streaming service that is on? I don't even remember.
I I want to say Paramount Plus, but I'm not
Okay,
100%.
I think I have that.
Peacock.
Yeah, I don't have Peacock. I might have Paramount Plus. I don't know. The problem is I had CBS, and then they went to Paramount. I think they moved it to Paramount. So I think I've got that I pay for. There's so many, like you said, we wind up spending much more money when we try to cut the cord than we actually want to spend with all these different screens. And then you can never find anything on. Like, or if you want something like you do, you want iCarly. Oh my God, I got to pay for this now. It's like, didn't I pay enough money? Emma, it's just crazy. So you know that I like bowling. My family bowls. We have. Matter of fact, my daughter is bowling going to be bowling in college. My son is bowled in college. I bowl on Thursday nights and I drink. That there's always that. But apparently there was a guy in Michigan that found, get this, 160 bowling balls under his home. He apparently
saw that.
Yeah. And it's kind of interesting. He was learning firsthand and discovered the home he purchased a couple years ago was built on the top of old bowling balls in Muskegon, Michigan. And it's kind of interesting. I guess he lived, it was the dumping ground around Brunswick Bowling Ball Products was around that area. And of course, this was on Fox News article that the Brunswick company did not return comment on this. But imagine finding bowling balls. For people that don't bowl, probably not good. But for me, that would have been pretty cool. Because I have a bowling ball burial ground in my house. Not under the house, but we have it like coming down to the basement. We have a lot of our old bowling balls just kind of going through. And I've seen pretty cool things done with bowling balls. And it would be nice to do that. So do you bowl at all?
No, not really. I mean, we occasionally, but we're not avid bowlers. Now, Brad was my husband years ago. He has his own bowling ball in a bag. He's got
shoes. He's got the shoes, a little bag.
I don't know if he's got shoes, but because the kids are like, really, Dad?
Now, come on. My kids bowled by the time they were 5, and they liked it. And there's a lot of chances. So, let the kids just go out there and do it. It's not so bad. We could teach them how to do it. Within a few weeks, I'll have them bowling, 150s and 200s. We'll be all set. Okay. Right? But yeah. it is pretty cool. So I just figured you would enjoy the bowling ball story. But did you know that so Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, a lot of these celebrities, they're bigger than, Rock is one of those guys that are just above. He's on all the time. You always see Rock in something, right? Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Yes.
But do you know that's not his only nickname?
No.
Apparently, it's not just Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, but according to Emily Blunt, he is known as Toots. That is his nickname. I don't know why he's called Toots. It's a cutesy thing. Emily Blunt and him have I don't know if you've ever watched the show with Chrissy Teigen and LL Cool J, but the lip sync battle.
Lip sync battle? Yeah.
There was an episode where Rock came on and lip synced to "Shake It Off" by Taylor Swift. I kid you not, it was awesome. And he wound up calling her T-Swizzle in that, and it was kind of funny on the T-Swizzle thing. But imagine Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson getting up there, big guy. That's almost as bad as me drinking White Claws, liking all these shows, right?
Yes.
But Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, a big guy. So I can feel that I'm okay if he's doing that. But apparently that nickname has been around for a few years. He used to enjoy calling him very sort of sweet, cute things, Emily Blunt did, and like cupcake and those type of things. But Toots, or Toots, Toots, is what his nickname is. And that's kind of coming out from Entertainment Tonight. I thought that was pretty fun that The Rock has another nickname.
Yeah, that's cute.
So what's going on with you? You've got a big morning show on B105 in the mornings. You're with Big Dave. So I have a question for you. Why is it called the Big Dave Show and not the Big Dave Show? Or why isn't it the Big Dave and Chelsie Show? Like, you need to get some more billing on this. Do I need to talk to Dave about this?
There's 4 of us on the show now, and it just was because we were in the afternoons. We were Big Dave and Chelsie, and then it got to be where the name just got too long. So it was a management decision, and we're fine with it because if the if it goes down, then it's on him. You know?
Exactly. It's only his name. It doesn't damper your name. That's right. Chelsie will remain. Chelsie will remain. So how can we consume? Because nowadays you don't just listen. You have to consume the Big Dave Show in the morning. So obviously you have it on B105 FM in Cincinnati. But how is it that we've got a lot of listeners that are outside of here, and they probably love you already? Second trip to Len's Burning Bush. How can they listen to you?
You can download our app. We have an app. It's B105.1, just on the App Store, WUBE. And or you can be from any of your devices at home. You can just say, play B105 Cincinnati. And it comes right. It's everywhere. You
know, that's kind of like Len's Burning Bush. You can ask Alexa to play it. It's kind of fun how that works. There's so much technology that I don't even understand, and that it seems to work, right? We just know that it works. When the internet's down, though, it's like, oh my God, it's like that airplane scene. We're out of coffee. You know, that's that's a crazy thing. But you've been doing this for a long time. Of course, you started when you were 5 years old, but you know, 20 years. I read your bio on B105, and it's kind of funny. I love the picture of you gardening, or
at my house.
Yeah, you were watering, and this is so unlike you. I guess, you know, the kids and everything have kind of made you into this mom appeal, as opposed to the way I remember before you were, yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm just saying. I like the idea of, you know, you're out there gardening. It looked pretty cool. You like that picture? I posted it on social media this week that you were joining with that lovely picture that's on B105. It's a cool picture. So
we had a fun shoot here with my kids and doing stuff like that.
Where was Brad in the shoot? I didn't see Brad.
He was at work.
Conveniently. I don't want to be in these pictures. Everything is about pictures these days. We have to constantly take pictures to justify that we've been somewhere, right? It's the constant social media pictures and endless parades of this and that. And I'm behind the scenes on a lot of pictures too. I'm not in a lot of photos. Even with the kids and stuff, I kind of either I take them or I'm not in them, right? It's just the way it works. So they're not going to remember when I'm gone. You know, it'll be hard to find good memories.
Was he even there?
Was he even there? I don't even think he did anything. Was he just here? I don't know. So I wanted to get with you also, because the last time we did the show, we talked about fireworks and parades, and how I couldn't understand both of them. And I told you that I could be leaned a little bit with the parades. I'm not a big fan, but, you know, because you mentioned about like the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade and a couple of other parades, but you mentioned about fireworks, and I wanted to mention to you that I grew a little bit this year. I talked to Amanda on the July 4th episode, and we went through it. I actually did watch a couple of fireworks displays this year, so I still don't love. I think you could still replay last year's, but I've grown in my you know.
Well, that's good to know.
You know, I know you were worried about that, about my growth over the last year, and this at least did it. The parades I still can do without. I'm not a big fan of the parades. I don't go to any parades, but you still like them. You still like the parades.
Some of them, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And the fireworks we don't like because of the loud noises of the dogs, and it's rough when you got to give the dogs medication.
Yeah, and this year we were out of town, so we had a house sitter that was trying to handle the dogs and take care of everything, and it was a little stressful for her, so we felt bad.
Yeah, no, exactly. It is rough. People don't understand all of these things that you have to go through when you have pets, and with this constant loud bangs. Everything's got to be so loud. I kind of like quiet sometimes. I've realized that I am happy just chilling. Like Netflix and chill is kind of like my deal. I don't need to watch Netflix, but I like the chilling. You know, as we get older, you know, I don't really need to. Everybody always like. I've got friends that still, they go hard, Chelsie. They go way too hard, and I don't understand it because they do it all the time. It's like when you get together with them, it's like they can never go like a 30-mile-an-hour speed. It's got to be 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And what are your thoughts on that now? I mean, I like my sleep. I mean, if that's why day drinking is so good, because I could still be in bed by 9 or 10.
That's, you know what? We just had this conversation, me and my friend Holly. And she's the same way. We both
Yeah.
work early in the morning, and she's like, it's better just to go do some day drinking, be in bed by 8, and
Yeah.
you're good to go.
Absolutely. We were hanging out last weekend. We got a little bit of rained on, and I went to a neighbor's house. We just kind of hung around and just watched a movie. It's like that. I'm good with that. I don't need, or listen to some music, have a drink, and relax with quiet. Like just kind of. I have one friend. We tease him all the time. He's just loud. It's like, God, like Maron with the loudness. I don't. I like it a little bit quiet. And I know I'm like that old man that says, "Get off my lawn." I understand that, but it's just. I like my quiet time. I don't need to always have to. And that's the other thing, too. Like, if you go on vacation, people feel the need to, like, run 100 miles an hour. Like, if people that do Disney, oh, my God, I'd rather take my eye with a pickaxe. Like, you're constantly going. You've done it, right? We all have done this where it's like you go to Disney World in the summer because that's when your vacation is. And you wind up going, it's like Mogadishu. You wait online. The heat is just dripping. The kids are miserable. They're saying, it's too hot. And it's like, I just paid $3,500. You better be a little bit nicer.
Have fun, yes.
Yeah, exactly. But it's just, this is the thing. You feel like you need to do stuff. I would be happy sitting on the beach with a cooler and just watching the ocean. And that's enough for me. I don't need to go anywhere. I don't like to, everybody says, when you go to Vegas, you got to do this. I could sit at the casino and just have a good time. I don't need to go to shows, and everybody's got to do something, right? I'm kind of like the other way. I don't need to be entertained. It's not like entertain me, clown. I don't need that.
I hear you.
I'm self-sufficient, as you know. That's the kind of way it is. You're just loving it. So make sure you listen to B105 and listen to Chelsie and the Big Dave Show. Although I like it to be called the Big Dave Show with Chelsie or with the group, and tell Big Dave that I said that, because I think I love him. I think he sounds great. He's the show is wonderful, and it continues to be. It's I can only hope to have a show as good. You can like Lens Burning Bush on Facebook at Lens Burning Bush. Please do. We could use some subscribers. You can follow at Lens Burning Bush on Twitter. I don't tweet anything that good, but what are you going to do? You can follow me, and then I have a YouTube channel now. So Chelsie. You do? Yeah, so here's how it works. I don't record the video, obviously. You and I are talking, and we're seeing each other, but I'm not recording that because I'm not a video kind of guy. I like it that I have a ball cap on, and, I apologize. This is the way I look today. But I think that the YouTube channel is kind of cool because it loads the audio portion of the show. Mm-hmm. So if you have YouTube and you look for Len Harvey and you do like a hashtag Lens Burning Bush, you will find it. I didn't change the name to Lens Burning Bush because I don't know if you know this, but when you have a channel or a YouTube account, it actually uses your Gmail, and what happens is everything gets changed, and I don't want everything to be changed. So I just left it at Len Harvey, but don't have a lot of subscribers at that either. So, feel free to subscribe. I will load this onto, you'll be able to listen to this show. Now, make sure you set it to subscribe on iTunes. So your Apple iPhone, you can just search in the podcast app for Lens Burning Bush. You can ask Alexa, as I mentioned, to play Lens Burning Bush, but make sure you say Lens Burning Bush podcast because you don't know what's going to come up if you don't. And Spotify we're on Google Play, Podbean. We are on iHeartRadio, and recently Pandora, Stitcher. So there's a lot of places you can consume this show. So I would hope that people have had some viewership or listenership rather outside the U.S. As well, because let's face it, the people in the U.S. don't like it, so we have to find people outside of the U.S. to like it. But it's I don't know. We're going to keep doing this every week and see if eventually, what is that enough? You throw enough stuff on the wall, it'll stick. Is that right?
That's true. Yep.
And you're probably saying, God, get me off this show. I don't ever want to be on here again. I love that you've come back. See, that's the thing that I've started to get people to come back. And what I love about this, too, is the conversation that we have because, we don't always get the chance to talk. Life is busy. It's great. I had Grover on. I don't know if you've heard that show. I had Grover Collins on. I've had, Cherie Polello on. And it was funny when Cherie was on, she wanted to, Mike is in the background, and goes, I want to be on next. So I had him on as well. So it's kind of nice, but the conversation and the fact that people are willing to come on again just makes me feel good. So thank you for doing. Yeah.
Well, thanks for having me.
Well, thank you, Chelsie. I'm Len Harvey. We'll be back with another episode of Len's Burning Bush next week. So long.